Skyrim on the go is a big deal right now with the Nintendo Switch, but it was also a big deal on this channel last year when the GPD Win handheld PC with a built-in gamepad came out, allowing people to play Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Skyrim on the go with pretty decent performance. That's not to say it isn't important now, because it is. Skyrim is out on the go on a dedicated handheld console, and for the first time on a Nintendo console. Let's take a look. This is my review of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. The story of Skyrim takes place 200 years after the events of The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. The country of Skyrim is in the middle of a civil war, and in the midst of that war, dragons appear in the skies, whom are harbingers of doom that bring with them the end of the world. You take up a character known as Dragonborn, a mortal with dragon blood coursing through their veins, venturing out into the world of Skyrim to find out why the dragons have reappeared and to stop them from bringing about the apocalypse. Now, the main story of Skyrim is very interesting and has a lot of really epic moments with you going into battle with huge dragons, but the real charm of Skyrim is how much lore is in the game. When you're traveling the open world, almost every single NPC in every single town and settlement has a quest chain, has their own backstory, has their own set of lore gone into effect that not only connects the game to other games in the Elder Scrolls series, but there is just so much lore that you can read and learn. Like its predecessors, Skyrim is an open world 3D action RPG. Across the entirety of the game, you're going to be navigating a huge world map full of towns, dungeons, and lots of dragons. Now, one of the biggest questions that everyone had when Skyrim was announced is, what version of Skyrim is this? Bethesda titled Skyrim on the Switch just The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which led a lot of people to think that we weren't getting Special Edition. Now, after a lot of research and after a lot of playing, here's what we've got. Skyrim on the Switch is Special Edition without mods. Mods were removed, but all of the upgraded textures and gameplay features of Special Edition, including all of the DLC campaigns, is here. So Skyrim on the Switch, Special Edition without mods. Now, progressing in Skyrim is all about exploration and choice. From the moment you gain access to the world map, you've got a little marker that says, go here to start the main quest. And you can do that if you want, go through the main storyline. Or you could go to various towns and do lore quests. Or you can get married. You can gain reputation in the towns and buy your own house. You can go do the DLC story quests that you're not supposed to be able to do until you beat the game. There is just so much you can do. And Skyrim is basically, you do what you want to do, and you can be who you want to be. And that latter part really dives into the RPG elements. You got a character creator, and you've got all these different skills that you can level up for whatever kind of playstyle you want. You can wield one-handed swords, you could be an archer, you could be a mage, you could be an axe wielder. Even if your race of choice isn't proficient in those weapons, every single weapon type has a skill and a level up system so that you can just use it enough that you are proficient at it. Now, to finish up this section, let's talk about length and the amount of content in this game. If you ask around the net, how long is Skyrim? I would be willing to bet one of the first responses is 100 to 200 hours long. And that is very true, considering all side quests have a story and lore aspect to them. But that playtime really depends on what you want to do. So let's get a realistic time frame here. Now, if you do stuff on the side here and there, but mostly stick to the main storyline, you should be able to clear the final boss in around 30 to 40 hours. After that, the Dawnguard DLC main quest should add around 8 hours to that total, and the Dragonborn DLC's main quest should add at least another 5 hours. So if you're talking about focusing on the main quest and not doing too much stuff on the side, you're looking at least 50 to 52 hours of gameplay. Now, let's talk about presentation. Since this is Special Edition, all of the textures have been enhanced. When you got the Switch in dock mode, everything looks beautiful and perfect. There are no jagged edges anywhere, and everything looks so refined. Now if you go into handheld mode, there are a few jagged edges here and there, but they are very small and they're pretty hard to see outside of the loading screen renders. Now what about performance? First of all, load times have been reduced a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And the frame rate is a constant 30 frames per second, and that remains smooth for the entire game. But that doesn't mean Skyrim doesn't have glitches. After all, Bethesda games are known for glitches. Glitches are a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. On the plus side, the item duplication glitch is still here, and the jump climbing glitch is still here, so you can jump up flat walls and get to areas you're not supposed to be. But the game crashes. Not a lot, but it does. I've spent a little over 50 hours on the game so far, and it's crashed on me 4 times. That's not too often, but it's enough to really have that, oh no, I just lost so much progress moment. And now let's talk about battery life. Considering how resource heavy the game is, I was expecting low battery life. Here are my times from 100% to 0%. With maximum brightness and the Wi-Fi on, 2 hours and 34 minutes. Maximum brightness with the Wi-Fi off, 2 hours and 37 minutes. Lower brightness with the Wi-Fi on, 2 hours and 55 minutes. Lower brightness with the Wi-Fi off, 3 hours and 2 minutes. That's pretty low, but it makes sense. It's the same general battery range as Zelda Breath of the Wild, and the two games are very similar. Now, in conclusion, Skyrim on the Switch is a very smooth and fun way to experience the game on a handheld. Although mods being removed and the game crashing occasionally will push some away, but Skyrim remains a huge time sink and a very memorable RPG. Reviews to Go rates Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch an 8 out of 10. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below or head to the website at www.reviewstogo.com.